Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Abraham Lincoln penny coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're going to take a closer look at a coin that may be hiding in your collection or tucked away in your pocket, the United States 1-cent coin from 1985. While this might seem like just another penny to many, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Stick around as we journey through its fascinating history, the intricate design, and discover just how valuable this coin could be today. Let's go back in time to the mid-1980s. The United States was experiencing significant changes, both economically and culturally. Ronald Reagan was in his second term as president, and the country was in the midst of the Cold War, with tensions between the US and the Soviet Union still a dominating force. The American economy, meanwhile, was shifting toward a more service-oriented structure, with technology and consumer spending becoming more integral to everyday life. 1985 was a pivotal year in many ways, but it was also a time when the US Mint continued producing the iconic 1-cent coin, better known as the penny. This small copper-plated coin has been part of American currency since 1793 and has gone through many changes over the years. The penny of 1985, however, carries significance beyond its nominal value. The design of the 1-cent coin from 1985 is based on the famous Lincoln cent, which has been in circulation since 1909. The obverse side of this coin features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This iconic image of Lincoln has been part of the coin since it first debuted, and over the years, it has become one of the most recognizable profiles in American coinage. The reverse side of the coin shows a simple but powerful image, the Union Shield, which represents the unity of the states. The shield's design was introduced in 2010, but the 1985 penny still carries the classic reverse design with a depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, located in Washington, D.C. The memorial was chosen because of its importance to the nation and to honor Lincoln's legacy. The detailed depiction of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side was part of the U.S. Mint's effort to celebrate the nation's history and the revered leader. The 1985 penny was produced by the U.S. Mint in large quantities to meet the needs of a growing economy. However, as with many coins that are circulated widely, most of these pennies were used for everyday transactions and quickly became worn down. This wear and tear is an important factor when it comes to determining the value of a coin, especially in the world of coin collecting. When it comes to collecting coins, condition is everything. Most of the 1985 pennies you'll encounter are likely to be well worn, especially those that have been in circulation for decades. However, coins that have been well preserved, those that have remained in near perfect, uncirculated condition, are much more valuable to collectors. In fact, the value of a coin increases dramatically based on its condition, with uncirculated coins fetching much higher prices than those that show signs of age and use. But here's where things get even more interesting. While most of the 1985 pennies are in fairly standard condition, there are some rare variants and features that can make this coin even more valuable. These include special minting errors that happened during the production process. From double strikes to incorrect dies, error coins have become incredibly desirable to collectors because they're unique. There's only one like it in the world. If you happen to own a 1985 penny with an error, it could potentially increase the coin's value exponentially, making it a true treasure. Many collectors and enthusiasts are always on the lookout for these rarities. Whether it's a slight misalignment in the design or a more significant flaw that changes the coin's appearance, these minting errors are often what drive up the value of a coin. It's important to carefully inspect your coins, especially those from years like 1985, to see if they exhibit any unusual features or abnormalities. If you come across one of these rare variants, you could have a true gem in your hands. Now, let's talk about the real value of the 1985 penny. While the face value of this coin is just 1 cent, its rarity and condition can dramatically affect its price. In fact, if you have a well-preserved, uncirculated 1985 penny, or better yet, one with a rare minting error, it could be worth significantly more than you might expect. Some of these coins have sold for upwards of $45,000. That's right, a single penny from 1985 could be worth a staggering $45,000 in the right condition. It's hard to believe that something as small and seemingly insignificant as a penny could hold so much value, but in the world of coin collecting, it's all about rarity, condition, and the unique story behind each coin. If you're looking to sell or trade your 1985 pennies, make sure to have them appraised by a professional numismatist. They can help you determine if your coin is one of the rare, high-value variants or if it's simply a well-worn piece of history. Either way, you're holding a small but important part of American currency that reflects the country's rich history and the evolution of its economy. So, the next time you come across a 1985 penny in your pocket or coin collection, take a closer look. Is it in pristine condition? Does it show any signs of minting errors? If so, you might just be holding onto a coin that could be worth a small fortune. Top 2. We're going to take a closer look at one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable coins in American history, the United States 1-cent coin from 1981. Now, while many of us see these pennies as just a small, everyday piece of currency, there's much more to this coin than you might realize. Stick with us as we delve into its rich history, stunning design, and the factors that can make it so valuable, including the surprising revelation at the end about its worth today. Let's begin by setting the stage for 1981. It was a year of political and economic change in the United States. Ronald Reagan had just been elected president, and his administration was about to embark on major economic reforms, aimed at reducing inflation and stimulating growth. It was also the early 80s, a time of major technological advancements, with personal computers starting to make their mark on the world. Meanwhile, American currency continued to evolve, with the U.S. Mint producing millions of coins every year to meet the needs of the population. The 1981 penny, like all pennies produced at the time, was minted during a period of high inflation, but it also carried symbolic weight in representing America's economic resilience. The small denomination was used in everything from vending machines to everyday purchases, helping to keep the economy moving despite the changing times. As we look back, the penny from 1981 might seem like just a piece of routine currency, but it actually holds quite a unique story within it. At first glance, the design of the 1981 penny may seem familiar to most of you. It features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that has been part of the coin since 1909. Lincoln's image on the penny is one of the most recognizable symbols in American numismatics, and it is a tribute to the country's 16th president, who played a pivotal role in shaping the nation's history. His profile is engraved in fine detail, with his beard and classic stovepipe hat creating a sharp, instantly recognizable silhouette. On the reverse side of the 1981 penny, you'll find the traditional design of the Lincoln Memorial. This design was in use from 1959 until 2008, and it symbolizes the nation's respect for Lincoln's leadership and his legacy. The memorial is depicted in intricate detail, with the 36 columns of the building shown in a balanced and symmetrical arrangement. Above it, you'll find the words E Pluribus Unum and United States of America, which speak to the unity and pride of the nation. The 1981 penny, like all other pennies from that era, was struck in copper-plated zinc. The U.S. Mint had been using this composition since 1982, when they switched from the original 95% copper mixture due to rising metal costs. This change was significant in the history of the penny, as it marked the last of the purely copper-based pennies before the Mint adjusted its materials. In terms of mintage, 1981 saw a large number of pennies being struck, with over 5 billion of them being produced. Most of these coins were circulated widely and are still in circulation today. As a result, the majority of 1981 pennies are in relatively common condition, with wear and tear from regular use over the years. These circulated coins aren't particularly rare, which means that they don't hold significant value beyond their face value, unless, of course, they are in exceptional condition. However, some of these pennies stand out from the crowd. When it comes to coin collecting, one of the most important factors is condition. Coins that have remained in near-perfect, uncirculated condition are far more valuable to collectors than those that show signs of wear. This is where the 1981 penny becomes interesting. While most of the 1981 pennies you'll encounter are likely to have been used in daily transactions, a small percentage of them may have been carefully preserved, tucked away in a drawer or stored in a safe place, thus maintaining their pristine quality. Coins in uncirculated condition are considered to be highly desirable by collectors, and they can fetch a significant premium over the original face value. For example, a 1981 penny in perfect, uncirculated condition can be worth much more than just 1 cent. In fact, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on its grade. Additionally, there are always those rare, one-of-a-kind variants that make certain coins even more valuable. In the case of the 1981 penny, there are a few special errors and minting anomalies that make certain coins particularly sought after by collectors. These include off-center strikes, double dies, and even coins with unusual marks or blemishes that were created during the minting process. Minting errors are highly prized because they are considered to be unique, and the rarity of these coins can drive up their value significantly. If you happen to have a 1981 penny with an error, it could be worth far more than you ever expected. Collectors love error coins because they are often one of a kind, and as a result, they can be sold at auctions for much higher prices than regular coins. Some collectors even specialize in finding coins with minting errors, knowing that they are likely to be rare and valuable. These rare error coins are often sold through specialized coin dealers or at coin auctions, where the bidding can become quite competitive, driving the prices even higher. So, how much could a 1981 penny be worth today? Well, here's the exciting part. While most 1981 pennies are worth only their face value, those that have been preserved in mint condition or those with minting errors can be worth quite a bit more. Some uncirculated 1981 pennies, especially those with unique characteristics or errors, have sold for up to $47,000. That's right, $47,000 for a single penny. It's truly incredible to think that such a small coin could have such a large value. If you're lucky enough to own a 1981 penny that is in pristine condition, or even better, one that has an error, you might just have a small fortune on your hands. But how can you know if you've got one of these valuable coins? The best way to determine a coin's worth is to have it graded by a professional numismatist or coin grader. They'll evaluate the coin's condition and authenticity, and provide you with a grade that reflects its value. If you're new to coin collecting or you've recently come across a stash of pennies from 1981, it's worth taking the time to carefully inspect each one. Look for any signs of wear, damage, or unusual features that could make it stand out. And remember, condition is key. Even a slight difference in grade can make a big difference in the price of a coin. To wrap up, the United States 1-cent coin from 1981 might seem like just another penny at first glance, but when you dig deeper, it becomes clear that this small piece of currency holds great historical significance and potential value. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, this coin is a reminder that sometimes, the most unexpected treasures can be hiding in plain sight. And who knows? You could be holding a 1981 penny worth $47,000. Top 3, we're diving into the world of one of the most intriguing and potentially valuable coins in American currency, the United States 1-cent coin from 1993. While many might dismiss it as just another penny, there's a fascinating story behind this small piece of currency that could surprise you. Stick around as we explore the history, design, minting details, and the true value of this remarkable coin, including a jaw-dropping reveal at the end. To understand the significance of the 1993 penny, it's important to take a step back and look at the world in which it was produced. The year 1993 was an interesting time in the United States. The country was under the leadership of President Bill Clinton, who had just taken office, and there was a sense of optimism in the air as the economy was entering a period of growth. The world was also experiencing significant changes, technology was evolving at a rapid pace, and new innovations were beginning to shape the way people lived and worked. In the midst of all this, the U.S. Mint continued to produce the nation's iconic coins, including the humble penny, which was still widely used in everyday transactions. The 1993 penny was part of the ongoing production of the Lincoln cent, a design that has been in circulation since 1909. The Lincoln cent is one of the most enduring symbols of American currency, and it remains a favorite among collectors to this day. While the overall design of the penny remained largely unchanged for decades, each year's coin features subtle differences that make it unique and collectible. The 1993 penny, in particular, stands out in several ways, both in terms of its historical context and the potential value it holds for collectors. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1993 penny. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln. This portrait of Lincoln, which has been featured on the penny since its debut in 1909, is one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. Lincoln, who served as the 16th President of the United States, is depicted in profile, wearing his signature beard and stovepipe hat. This design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, has become synonymous with American currency and symbolizes Lincoln's lasting legacy in the country's history. The reverse side of the 1993 penny features the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial, which has been a part of the penny's design since 1959. The Lincoln Memorial, located in Washington, D.C., is one of the nation's most important landmarks and a tribute to Lincoln's leadership during one of the most pivotal times in U.S. history, the Civil War. The detailed depiction of the memorial on the reverse of the penny is a fitting tribute to the 16th president, and it serves as a reminder of the values of unity and freedom that Lincoln championed during his time in office. However, there was a significant change that took place in 1993, and that change can be found in the composition of the penny itself. Up until 1982, pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint made the decision to reduce the copper content and introduce a new composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This change was a major shift in the way pennies were produced, and it has affected the way they look and feel to this day. The 1993 penny, like all pennies minted after 1982, is made primarily of zinc, with just a thin copper plating on the surface. This change in material, while seemingly minor, has had a significant impact on the value and collectability of these coins. So, what makes the 1993 penny stand out in the world of coin collecting? As with any coin, the most important factor in determining its value is its condition. Coins that are well preserved, free from damage, and in uncirculated condition are much more valuable than those that have been heavily worn or damaged over time. Most of the 1993 pennies you'll encounter have been circulated for decades and show the typical signs of wear and tear. However, if you're lucky enough to come across a 1993 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on a valuable piece of currency. But what about errors? The world of coin collecting is full of fascinating discoveries, and sometimes a coin will have an error or minting anomaly that makes it even more valuable. Minting errors can occur for a variety of reasons, from double strikes to off-center impressions, and these unique features are highly sought after by collectors. Error coins are considered to be rare and special, and they can fetch far higher prices than their unaltered counterparts. For example, a 1993 penny with a double die or off-center strike could be worth thousands of dollars, sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and rarity of the error. These types of minting anomalies are highly prized by collectors, and finding one in your collection could dramatically increase the value of your coin. It's important to inspect your pennies closely for any signs of unusual features, as these small details can make a huge difference when it comes to the coin's value. Now, you may be wondering just how much a 1993 penny could be worth today. The answer might surprise you. While most 1993 pennies are worth only their face value of 1 cent, coins in exceptional condition or with rare minting errors can be worth a great deal more. A well-preserved, uncirculated 1993 penny could be worth several $100s, depending on its condition and any special features it may have. However, if you happen to own a 1993 penny with a rare error, it could be worth a staggering sum. Some of these error coins have sold for as much as $40,000. That's right, $40,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe that something so small and seemingly insignificant could hold such incredible value, but that's the magic of coin collecting. If you've got a collection of pennies or if you've come across a 1993 penny in your pocket, it's worth taking a closer look. Inspect the coin for any signs of wear, damage, or unique features. If you find one that is in pristine condition, or if you spot a minting error, you could be holding onto a rare treasure. It's always a good idea to have valuable coins appraised by a professional numismatist, as they can help you determine the true worth of your coin. The 1993 penny is a perfect example of how something as small as a 1-cent coin can hold significant historical value. Whether it's the classic design featuring Abraham Lincoln and the Lincoln Memorial, the subtle changes in composition, or the rare errors that make certain coins unique, the 1993 penny has earned its place as a collector's item. And who knows? You might just have one that could be worth $40,000. Top 4. We're diving deep into the world of the 1987 United States 1-cent coin, a small piece of currency that might just surprise you with its historical significance, intricate design, and potential value. The 1987 penny is part of the beloved Lincoln cent series, which has been circulating in the U.S. since 1909. Despite its humble appearance, this particular coin has a lot to offer. So, let's journey back to the year 1987, a year that would set the stage for a coin that would end up being a sought-after collector's item decades later. In 1987, the world was seeing rapid changes. The U.S. was in the midst of an economic recovery under President Ronald Reagan, following the early 1980s recession. The country was flourishing in terms of technological advancements, with personal computers becoming an essential part of everyday life. The stock market was in the middle of a long bull run, and things were starting to look up after several challenging years. Coinage during this time was still influenced by the decisions made by the U.S. Mint years earlier. In 1982, the composition of the penny was changed to reduce costs due to rising copper prices. The new pennies, including the 1987 version, were made primarily of zinc and were copper-plated, unlike the older copper-heavy pennies. This adjustment may seem like a small detail, but it actually plays a big role in the collectability and value of these coins. Most coins from the 1980s were produced in large quantities, and while the 1987 penny is widely available today, it is the few that have been well preserved in pristine condition that stand out. The design of the 1987 penny remains a tribute to one of America's most revered presidents, Abraham Lincoln. On the obverse of the coin, Lincoln's image, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, is prominently displayed. This portrait, which has graced the penny since its introduction in 1909, shows Lincoln in profile, with his signature beard and top hat. The image of Lincoln is as iconic as it is timeless, symbolizing the ideals of freedom, equality, and perseverance that he stood for. On the reverse of the 1987 penny, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, another tribute to the 16th President of the United States. This particular design has been part of the penny since 1959 and continues to be one of the most recognizable and enduring symbols of American coinage. The memorial, located in Washington, D.C., is intricately depicted on the reverse side of the coin. The columns of the memorial are carefully etched, symbolizing the strength and unity that Lincoln embodied during his presidency. Now, while these designs may seem familiar to many of you, there are some important details to consider when assessing the value of the 1987 penny. Most of the pennies from this year were minted in massive numbers, as is typical with most circulating coinage. This means that while the 1987 penny may not be rare in terms of sheer quantity, it's the condition of the coin that can make all the difference. Many of these coins have been through countless transactions, accumulating wear and scratches along the way. However, a coin that has been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition is far more valuable to collectors. Uncirculated coins are those that have never been used in everyday transactions, meaning they don't show signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. For collectors, these uncirculated pennies are worth much more than their face value. If you have a 1987 penny in perfect, uncirculated condition, it could potentially be worth hundreds, even thousands, of dollars, far more than just 1 cent. In addition to its condition, the 1987 penny has certain characteristics that make it a particularly interesting piece for collectors. For example, some 1987 pennies feature minor minting errors, such as double dies or off-center strikes. These errors are highly coveted by coin collectors because they make the coin unique. While errors like these are rare, they can greatly increase the value of a coin. In fact, a 1987 penny with a minting error might be worth several $1,000s more than one without. The process of coin minting is complex, and while the vast majority of coins are struck perfectly, some coins are produced with errors. These errors could occur for a number of reasons, including misalignments, double impressions, or problems with the die used to strike the coin. Collectors prize these errors for their rarity and uniqueness, and they are often willing to pay a premium for them. A small mistake during the minting process can turn an ordinary penny into a highly valuable collectible. In terms of production, over 6 billion 1-cent coins were struck in 1987, making the 1987 penny one of the more common coins in circulation. However, the vast majority of these coins have been used and worn down over the years, so finding one in exceptional condition is increasingly rare. This rarity is what has made certain 1987 pennies, especially those in uncirculated or near-mint condition, highly desirable to collectors. As we move toward the big reveal, you might be wondering, just how much is a 1987 penny worth today? While most of these coins are still worth only their face value of 1 cent, those that have been carefully preserved, are uncirculated, or feature a minting error can be worth much more. Depending on their condition, some 1987 pennies can be valued at several $100s, but those with rare minting errors or unique features can fetch even more. In fact, certain 1987 pennies have sold for as much as $43,000. That's right, $43,000 for a single penny. This incredible value is largely due to the rarity of these coins in pristine condition and the demand for error coins in the market. For collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents, the 1987 penny represents a unique opportunity to own a piece of American history that carries both historical and financial significance. So, how do you know if you have a valuable 1987 penny on your hands? The first thing to do is inspect the coin for any signs of wear or damage. Look for coins that are free from scratches, discoloration, or any obvious signs of use. If you come across a 1987 penny that looks as though it was just struck yesterday, you might be looking at a valuable coin. Furthermore, if the coin has an unusual feature or error, such as a double die or off-center strike, you could be holding something truly special. To verify the value of your 1987 penny, it's always a good idea to have it appraised by a professional numismatist. They can grade the coin based on its condition, authenticity, and any potential minting errors, giving you a clearer idea of its market value. In conclusion, the 1987 1-cent coin is a fascinating piece of American history. While it may seem like a humble penny, it holds significant value for those who know what to look for. Whether it's the stunning design, the minting process, or the rarity of a coin in exceptional condition, the 1987 penny has earned its place in the world of coin collecting. And who knows? If you've got one of these pennies in your collection, it might just be worth $43,000. Top 5 and last scion, we're diving into the history of one of the most interesting and potentially valuable pennies from the United States, the 1979 1-cent coin. You might think of a penny as just a small, insignificant piece of currency, but the 1979 penny holds more history, mystery, and value than most would expect. Stick around until the end, and you'll be amazed at the current value of this little coin. The 1979 penny is a part of the famous Lincoln cent series, which has been a staple of U.S. currency for over a century. First introduced in 1909, the Lincoln cent has undergone various changes in its design, composition, and minting processes, but one thing has remained constant: its importance in the world of American coinage. The 1979 penny, like many others from the 1970s, reflects the social, political, and economic climate of that time, making it a fascinating piece of history. To understand the significance of the 1979 penny, let's take a look at the context of the world during that year. The United States was in the midst of a challenging period. The country was recovering from a tough recession that began in the mid-1970s, and inflation was on the rise. President Jimmy Carter had taken office in January 1977, and his administration was grappling with various domestic and international issues, from rising energy prices to the ongoing Cold War with the Soviet Union. Despite these challenges, the U.S. economy was beginning to show signs of recovery, and the U.S. Mint continued to produce coins for everyday transactions, including the humble penny. The 1979 penny came at a time when the United States was still using the classic design of the Lincoln cent. The obverse, front, of the coin features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, who served as the 16th president and is regarded as one of the most iconic figures in American history. The design, created by artist Victor David Brenner, has been a part of the penny since its debut in 1909. Lincoln is shown in profile, with his familiar beard and top hat, standing as a symbol of freedom, equality, and the enduring values of democracy. On the reverse, back, side of the 1979 penny, you'll find the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial. This design, which replaced the original wheat ears in 1959, honors the monumental structure that commemorates Lincoln's legacy. Located in Washington, D.C., the Lincoln Memorial is one of the most visited landmarks in the United States, and its depiction on the penny is a powerful reminder of Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War and his efforts to preserve the Union. Now, let's talk about the key differences between the 1979 penny and its counterparts from other years. While the design itself remained the same, there were significant changes in the way the U.S. Mint produced pennies during the late 20th century. One of the most notable changes was in the composition of the coin. For much of the 20th century, pennies were made primarily from copper, but by 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the penny to reduce costs. The 1979 penny, however, was still made with a high copper content, 95% copper and 5% zinc, which gives the coin a distinctive weight and color that is different from the pennies produced after 1982. This copper composition is one of the key features that collectors look for in the 1979 penny. The coin has a warm, reddish-brown hue that is characteristic of copper-based coins, and its weight and feel are noticeably different from later pennies made primarily of zinc. In fact, many collectors focus on the 1979 copper pennies, as they are seen as a more authentic version of the Lincoln cent. However, this focus on the composition is just one part of what makes the 1979 penny valuable. As with any coin, the most important factor in determining its value is its condition. Most of the 1979 pennies that you'll find today have been used in everyday transactions for decades, and as a result, they show signs of wear, scratches, and discoloration. These coins are still valuable, but they aren't worth much more than their face value, 1 cent. However, if you happen to come across a 1979 penny in uncirculated condition, it could be worth far more. An uncirculated penny is one that has never been used in circulation, meaning it doesn't show signs of wear or damage. These coins are highly prized by collectors, and the value of a 1979 penny in mint condition can be quite impressive. Another factor that makes the 1979 penny stand out is the possibility of minting errors. Over the years, many coins have been struck with various errors, ranging from double dies to off-center strikes. These minting errors can make certain coins much more valuable than others, and the 1979 penny is no exception. For example, a 1979 penny with a double die, meaning the design was struck twice, creating a blurry, overlaid effect, is highly sought after by collectors. Similarly, a penny that was struck off-center or has other unique characteristics can fetch much higher prices at auction or from private buyers. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1979 penny. While most of these coins are worth only their face value, 1 cent, those that are in pristine, uncirculated condition or feature rare minting errors can be worth much more. In fact, some 1979 pennies have sold for thousands of dollars, depending on their condition and rarity. But the real jackpot comes when a 1979 penny with a significant minting error is discovered. Some of these error coins have been known to fetch up to $56,000. That's right, a single penny, worth just 1 cent when it was first minted, could be worth $56,000 today if it has the right attributes. Finding a 1979 penny with a valuable minting error isn't easy, but for those who are willing to dig through their collections or scour coin shops and auctions, it can be incredibly rewarding. If you suspect that you have a 1979 penny in excellent condition or with a rare minting error, it's worth having the coin appraised by a professional numismatist. They can determine its value based on its rarity, condition, and any unique features it may have. To help you spot a valuable 1979 penny, be sure to inspect it closely for any signs of minting errors, such as a double die or an off-center strike. Additionally, look for any signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration that would indicate the coin has been circulated extensively. If your coin appears to be in perfect condition, it's worth getting it graded by a professional to determine if it holds any significant value. In conclusion, the 1979 1-cent coin may seem like just another penny, but it holds a fascinating history, unique features, and potentially incredible value for collectors. Whether it's the copper composition, the iconic Lincoln design, or the possibility of minting errors, the 1979 penny is a coin that should not be overlooked. And who knows? If you happen to have one of these rare coins in your collection, it could be worth $56,000. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of the 1979 penny. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a future discovery. Happy collecting!